What's up everyone? Welcome on in to my channel. Let's talk about some new makeup that has launched. I was gonna do just an anti-haul because I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know, this is the month of doing gift guides where, you know, and I have done gift guides. We're talking a lot about buying things and obviously typically it's for other people. But I thought it'd be nice and a little refreshing for me at least to do an anti-haul. Something like, what am I not gonna buy? What am I not interested in? But as I was doing it, I was like, okay, but there's too many things that are really cool. And since I typically do anti-haul and wish lists all in the same video, we're gonna do that because there's too many things that are really cool. Actually though, I have to say my wish list section of the video is mostly drugstore. There's a lot of new drugstore launches I haven't even heard about that I was like, where did these come from? So I want to talk about them. Let's start with the anti-haul since that was the original intent. Okay, we're going to start with that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is from Valentino. And I think the whole brand, like the beauty section of Valentino is brand new. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they didn't used to do this. Designer brands like this can be so hit or miss, I feel like, especially when they're first launching. So there's plenty they launched. Some of it looks kind of interesting. This one just made me giggle, okay? It's their Go Clutch Refillable Compact Finishing Powder. And I like the idea that it's refillable. I think that's really cool that a lot of brands are moving to that model where if you fall in love with the product and you're gonna buy it again, at least you already have the packaging, you can just buy the refill. The thing that made me giggle, okay, two things. First of all, $205, $205 for a powder. Whew, that one better make me freaking look like the Beautify filter on Instagram because I don't know that I've ever like looked at a powder that was that expensive. But the other thing that made me giggle is the fact that it has this chain that you can like wear. I'm like, who is doing that? Who's wearing that out? First of all, $205 is more expensive than any purse I think I've ever owned. But second of all, who's wearing it and like carrying it around? Like that would go in my purse. I don't know. It's just one of those things. And then furthermore, there's only like 5 or 6 shades. So that is a huge pass, but I wanted to bring it up because it made me laugh. That's all. It might be a really great powder. I sure hope it is, but no, that's not one I am interested in buying at all. All right, next is this Too Faced Too Femme blush. Too Faced can be very hit or miss. There are products of theirs I love, like my Cinnamon Swirl palette. I really, really love that eyeshadow palette, but this blush just doesn't look very special to me, but on top of it, it's got like little tiny bits of oversprayed shapes that if you're buying it for that reason, because it looks pretty, the second you use it once or twice, that overspray is gonna be gone. So then you're just left with a plain blush, which is totally fine. But it's just one of those things that I'm like, it's kind of gimmicky. Like, I feel like you'd be better off just buying a blush. Like if you want shimmer, buy a shimmering blush. If you want matte, buy a matte or satin blush. But this one that's just kind of a standard blush with a little bit of like shapes in it, I just feel like there's so many better blushes out there, you guys. And my next question for y'all is the NYX silicone applicator, okay? Many brands have made these before. This is nothing new. If you're someone that uses a silicone applicator, like how do you use it? Why? Because it can't be that you're blending with it, right? Like I can't picture, and I've used one before. I could see like maybe you use it to apply like foundation, let's say all over the face, but then you would certainly go in with something else to blend it in, right? Like how do you use it? So that was one that I saw that as like on the new arrivals page on Ulta's website. And I was like, are people still buying these? Like how many people are buying silicone applicators that brands are putting out new ones? So let me know your experience with silicone applicators because I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't get it, I guess. That reminds me, you guys remember the Artiste brushes that were like, they look like a spoon from the other side, but they were like a paddle brush and you'd put your foundation on? I really liked that. And that was one of those products that at first I was like, skeptical, kind of like I am with the silicone applicator. But then like once I actually started using it, I really liked it. But boy, none of us talk about those anymore, huh? I know mine's sitting at home. I just haven't used it in years. I kind of forgot about it. I should pull it back out and see if I still like it. Anyway, it had nothing to do with anything. Okay, this next thing. I Heart Revolution and e.l.f., not like the brand e.l.f., but e.l.f. as in the movie with Will Ferrell, you know. They have a whole line of stuff that came out. So I specifically took a picture of the primer just because that was one that I was like, I definitely wouldn't buy that. But really, the line looks kind of cute. I think they have a makeup bag you could buy, and I'm like, that could be something that if you really liked e.l.f. or you knew someone that really loved that movie, maybe that would be cute and you could every Christmas use that as your makeup bag for December. But the other things like makeup items that are gonna go bad, I'm like, are you gonna be using it year round? Like, do you wanna be pulling out your e.l.f. primer year round? Maybe you do, but I have to assume most people don't. I love that movie, but I don't love it enough to like need makeup products with that. So I thought that was kind of an interesting collaboration. It makes sense, you know, given the season we're in and stuff, but I would be curious, like, you know, that stuff is gonna be on crazy clearance in like 2 weeks, you know? Okay, this one I think is gonna ruffle some feathers, so sorry ahead of time if your feathers do indeed get ruffled, but the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz Palette. I bet the quality of these shadows is amazing, so it's really not, that wouldn't be the issue. The outer packaging, gorgeous, but looking at them, like it kind of freaks me out. The Love Stone one that's got like, it looks like stones in it, and then the Cosmic Love and the Quartz, they're really pretty and they look all marbly, but you know it's not gonna go on your eye like that. So I feel like people that are loving this are probably loving the other shades, and or they're buying it just more as like a collector's showpiece. I don't know who you're showing it to, but you know what I mean, versus a daily use thing. So I don't know. The swatches look absolutely stunning, and like even Cosmic Love like looks pretty when it's swatched because it's kind of one of those like multi-chrome type shades. But I know myself, I would use a couple of those shades, but that's about it. And I just don't think I would get enough use out of those like marbly colors to warrant buying it. The packaging really is pretty though. So that's why I feel like it's gonna ruffle some feathers, because I know there are people that really like that, and I think that the quality of it is good, but it's certainly not for me. Okay, and this one too, the Natasha Denona Glam Face and Eye Palette. They have, I think, 2 different like color stories. I just don't like when eyeshadows and face products are in the same palette. I've realized over the years, I really don't. And I appreciate that with this one, I think there's like a cream blush, right? And the fact that it has a little cover over it, that's really nice, so it doesn't dry out as quickly. You don't get eyeshadow dust in the blushes. But even with that, that's not the way that I do my makeup. I like to have my eyeshadow separate from my face products. I don't know why I am the way that I am, but I am, okay? And I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of you guys feel the same way about it. So again, I'm sure the quality is there, but it's just not something I would be interested in. And again, it's not cheap. Okay, this one is on my anti-haul list, but I have to say, I just took a second to look at the reviews, and I may be moving it to my wish list. Upon first glance, this product seems ridiculous to me. So it's the Peace Out Retinol Face Stick. And my first like instinctual thought was, no, like you can't do that. You can't put retinol on a stick and expect it to work. That's not right. But honestly, the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, it would be pretty convenient if it were like stable in that way. I'm not a chemist. I don't know about that world and if it would actually be stable in that way and if it would still work. But the reviews for this freaking face stick are insane. People are like, oh my gosh, I bought this and then I fell in love and I bought the eye version or whatever. And everyone is saying that they would, like with regular retinol products, they would have like that kind of retinol reaction you get. But with this one, they weren't, and they felt like it was a little more hydrating. And I'm like, that's kind of nice. And maybe if you are like dipping your toe in the water of retinol and you're thinking about it and you're like, maybe I want to try it, maybe this would be a good way to start. I don't know how strong it is. And if over time, if you were only using this versus using, you know, more of like a prescription strength, maybe it wouldn't be as effective anti-aging wise. I don't know, but I'm just saying, but it might be the perfect stepping stone into it. So right now I'm pregnant, I can't use retinol products, but there's a part of me that's thinking like, okay, once I'm done with this and done with breastfeeding, etc., if that's what I end up doing, as I'm going back into using retinol, maybe that would be a good way to kind of dip my toes back into the water of it and give my skin time to adjust. So it's on my anti-haul list, but it's kind of working its way into my wish list. So I don't know. I wouldn't buy it anytime soon anyway, but I wanted to mention that because I thought that was interesting. So it might be worth looking into, read some reviews and stuff like that if you were thinking about it. The makeup I'm wearing, because I know y'all are gonna ask me. First of all, my lips is just this lip liner. It's the Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner and it's in the shade 11. It's Cherry. This stuff is freaking beautiful. You don't need anything else. I just colored in my lips. And it's like that perfect like blue toned red. I could put a lipstick on top, but I literally, and that's what I was planning on doing, but I put it on today and I was like, I don't feel like I need it. So this is like 12 bucks at Sephora. The whole lip liner line is amazing, but this color is new to me and this might be exactly what I do for Christmas. Next anti-haul thing is from Tarte, and it's the Tartelette Full Bloom Eyeshadow Palette. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, what? I love Tarte's Tartelette palettes. Like I have the Tartelette Juicy palette. It's one of my favorites. I think the quality is nice. I love this color story. But this one is so big. How big is it? It is so big that it can't possibly be the same quality as like some of their smaller palettes. And when I've looked at the reviews are also not very glowing. So I feel like it's one of those things. First of all, it's a very large palette. So I would think about putting on my anti-haul list anyway, because I don't typically go for ginormo palettes, just from a storage perspective. But that aside, I just feel like based on the reviews and really thinking about it, I'm like, it is more expensive than their smaller palettes, but not like so much so. So I'm like, I just feel like they had to sacrifice some of the quality of it. You know what I mean? So kind of a bummer because the color story is really pretty. All right, another anti-haul thing is the Ariana Grande Rem brand. I don't know. Like, the more I've looked at the products, and maybe there will be future launches that I jump on and want to try, but as of right now, I'm not dying to try it. None of it looks that great to me. I will say, I've heard that Ariana Grande's perfume, I think that's totally separate from the makeup brand, but still, her like cloud perfume I've heard smells literally unbelievable, and so that is kind of on my wish list. But her actual makeup line, the Rem line, I just am not interested. It's very pastel-y, which is not my vibe. I don't know. Have you guys tried any of it? Like, are you interested in it? If there were like an overwhelming amount of you guys that were like, Jessica, please try it, I'm interested, maybe I would, but as of right now, it's really just not on my radar. Let's dive into the part of the video that was never supposed to happen, the wish list part. The thing that made me really want to do this part are these makeup eraser things. So I don't even use makeup erasers, okay? But I know a lot of you guys do. And they have this line of Disney ones. They have Disney Princess line. Look how cute that is. And then they also have a Disney Villains line, which I'll pop right there. So cute. And of course, these are washable. You use them over and over again. So it's a nice eco-friendly way to remove your makeup. If you're into that, I'd much prefer to just use a makeup removing balm and then go in with my cleanser. But these are really cute. And another idea for using them, if you were into them, but you don't use them in the traditional like removing your makeup way, would be to just use them as your like makeup washcloth. Like, I always have one down when I'm doing my makeup, so I can kind of wipe my brushes on it and stuff, and then I wash them and reuse them, obviously. That'd be a great way to use those if you were thinking about it. It's just so cute, right? I love it. So wanted to give those two a shout out, even though I don't think I myself am necessarily gonna buy them. Although now I'm like, well, maybe I'll buy them for my makeup like station. I don't know. We'll see. Let's dive into a bunch of drugstore launches. All right. So the first thing is from Maybelline, and it is their Super Stay Long Wear Liquid Concealer, but it's their like active wear. So it says up to 30 hours wear. I hope no one's wearing it for that long, but it's got a full coverage matte look, but it looks and feels like skin. Lightweight, that doesn't crease or feel cakey. Those are some bold claims. So I find the term active wear to be interesting, because when I think of active wear, I'm like, oh, like if you're doing, I don't know why, guys, you're gonna make fun of me. I feel like I think of active wear, I'm like, yeah, you're like doing sports and you like, so you need like lightweight makeup. None of that, I don't know. But this is like the opposite. It's like, I guess you're active in your life, so you want the concealer to stay, which also makes sense. I've just got to erase what my original like definition of like active type makeup would be. So I'm just kind of interested in it. I know myself, I will be trying this probably here in the next few weeks. A lot of these that I'm gonna mention, they're already in my cart. I'm gonna buy, and I'll do like a drugstore trying new makeup video here in the next couple weeks, probably in the new year, although actually it might be sooner than you think. I don't know, we'll see. If anyone gets what I just referenced by saying, might be sooner than you think, I will be forever, you're my best friend. Comment below if you know exactly what I'm quoting. I will be so impressed. I don't have coffee today. I actually got Starbucks, which I don't get all the time, but I mean, obviously love. And I already drank it all. So I'm like, dang, I feel weird without coffee. I'm like, what do I do with my hands? I got my water though, I guess. Okay. L'Oreal Voluminous Noir Balm Volumizing Mascara. Honestly, I want this only because of the packaging. Isn't it pretty? Like, the gold, and I'm like, ooh, that would look so pretty in my makeup bag. I don't know. And I tend to like a lot of L'Oreal mascaras. So I feel like they've not all been hits, but a lot of them have been hits for me. The reviews seem pretty good. I like a volumizing mascara, so it's just one of those that I'm like, I know I'm gonna try it, so that one is already in my cart. L'Oreal almost always kills it with their packaging. My biggest gripe with L'Oreal will still be they need to make their lipsticks to not have that smell. I literally don't own L'Oreal lipsticks and haven't in years because they have that smell that makes me ill. And it's not a pregnancy thing. I'm talking like, I've always felt this way, to the point where I'm like, every time I've tried one, I have to wipe it off. I'm like, I cannot handle it. So I wish they would just like do a different smell, or I don't know, man. e.l.f. released some new bite-sized eyeshadow palettes, which is so exciting because I already love the e.l.f. bite-sized little quads. They're like $3 or $4. There's 4 shades. I always say 3 or 4 because I never know. This says 3, but I swear to you, I always think they're $4. Maybe they are just 3. I think I just think 4 shades, therefore $1 a shade. I don't know. But they have this I Love You a Latte one they just launched. It is a neutral lover's dream. It's got some beautiful browns to it. I feel like any of those 2 middle shades I would just wear like on the lid and in the crease, and it'd just be one of those really pretty monochromatic like camel brown eye looks. Like I could see that, and then use the dark brown as like a smudged liner, and then the light like on the brow bone. It'd be so chic. And for $3, the quality is there. So I really, really have my eye on that one. They have another one they launched that's similar. I'll probably buy both just because they're $3 and I know I like them. So, but that's the one I was like, ooh, like I could feel how I would use that one. Feel it in my bones, in my eye bones. Have you guys watched the new Sex and the City series and Just Like That? At this point, like while I'm filming this, I've only seen the first episode. And it was spoiled for me what the big thing that happens, but it almost made it worse knowing the big thing that happens, because the whole time I was like nervous watching it, waiting for that big thing to happen. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm just so mad that it was ruined for me, but I don't really know how I feel about all this. I'm like, ah! So the next thing is from Revlon, another new concealer. It's their Color Stay Skin Awaken concealer. So it has the kind of applicator that is like the spongy kind that it looks like you squeeze it into it. Again, some people feel a way about it. I don't mind it. They have different skin tone shades, but they also have a universal brightener. That's the one that's in my cart because I love a good brightener type concealer that you can just quickly tap on and just brightens it. So I'm interested in that. I might also get my actual like skin tone type shade too, but that is the one that like I'm the most excited about. This one I am jazzed about. It's from L'Oreal, and I already like a product they sell that's similar. They might not even sell it anymore, so this might be the same thing, just different packaging, different names. It's their Glow Paradise Lip Balm and Gloss. I have 2 of those in my cart, the most like neutral ones. That sounds a lot like the YSL ones, and I'm pretty sure YSL and L'Oreal are owned by the same umbrella company, so there's a chance it's a very similar, if not the same formula. But they're just like this super lightweight, oily gloss. Oily sounds bad because it's not like oily, it's like lightweight. It's balmy. Again, balm and gloss. And they're just comfortable. You can put them on and you don't need a mirror. Like, I just love that formula. It really is like my favorite kind of thing to put on my lips. And I've realized like if we ever have like people over and we're having like a dinner party or we're going to a restaurant, whatever, if I'm gonna actually put something on my lips, especially pre-masks and all that, I typically go with a balm and gloss type product because I'm never worried about it like running all over my face like I maybe would be with like a lipstick or something. And I can eat with it and it'll just kind of wear off naturally and it doesn't look super weird if I don't have time to like reapply. So those are just like my go-to kinds of products. So those I know I'm gonna buy some of. I hope it's not limited edition because with a name like Glow Paradise, it makes me worry that it's gonna be gone in like 6 months and we'll never hear from it again. A couple of non-drugstore ones. So the Smashbox and Becca Under Eye Brightening Concealer, I think I'm gonna buy and try again because I remember trying the Becca Under Eye Brightener years ago and I didn't like it. Like I had tried the Glossier like concealer and I hated that. And now I love that for like quick, and I mean quick, brighten up your under eye, throw on some SPF and get out the door kind of thing. So I feel like that's more similar to the Glossier. I know it has more coverage than that, but I just remember feeling like it went everywhere, but I don't know. I'm just interested to try it again because I know my preferences have changed and I wonder if I will like it more. I'm also interested, and this doesn't come out till like January, the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I have to say, Charlotte Tilbury face like foundation-y products have been hit or miss. I tend to really like her products like this one, where they're lighter, light to medium coverage. This is the Light Wonder foundation. I love this stuff. But her more full coverage stuff, I don't end up always loving, and I can never decide if it's more of a I can't find the right shade for me, or if it's genuinely the formula or just some kind of combination of it. So this one sounds like one I would like, so I'm definitely gonna buy it. I'm definitely gonna try it and let you guys know, because you know I just have an affinity for Charlotte Tilbury products. And then one just honorable mention I don't need to buy right now, but I wanted to bring it up. One of my favorite facial oils is the Herbivore Phoenix facial oil. It's super pricey. The full size is like 1.7 ounces. It's like $88. I finally bit the bullet and bought it though because I bought this teeny tiny one, fell in love. It's so like hydrating for the skin. Like my skin drinks it up. I use it every single night. So I love it. Well, they now have a kind of in-between size. It's still $58, so it's still expensive, but it's 1 ounce, and you can try it a little bit more than like if you buy the teeny tiny one, which Sephora doesn't sell the teeny tiny one. It's only sold on Herbivore's site. It might be sold on like Beautylish too. Maybe not. Regardless, it's kind of an in-between, still expensive, but like I said, I love it. It doesn't have like added fragrance or anything, and my skin just drinks it up. And when I don't use it, like there was a few weeks between when I bought the full size and when I'd run out of the tiny one that I wasn't using it, and my skin instantly looked so much more dull, so much drier. So I really feel like it makes a difference. So I wanted to bring up that they now have that middle size if you were thinking about it. That is all. That's everything. This was so much fun. I love, you guys know, I do anti-haul and wish list videos every single month. I have a whole playlist if you like hearing about new launches, just chatting about what's out there. I love doing them. I'll have that playlist below. I hope you'll subscribe. I have so much exciting stuff coming in the new year. I've been kind of planning out things and I'm just excited. I am one of those people that gets such a kick of like inspiration and adrenaline when a new year hits. I don't know what it is, I just do. And so I'm just excited for what is to come. And yeah, I love you guys. Thanks ahead of time for watching all the way to the end. I guess it's not ahead of time. It's now time. Anyway, I'll shut up. I'll get off your screen and out of your ear. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.